Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Zartan from the G.I. Joe Classified series from Hasbro. You can see from the top here he is number 23 in the series. And he's another classic character, master of disguise. As you can see, he comes with an alternate face here. And then he's got this kind of like backpack suitcase to hide the extra mask in. At first I thought this was just going to be like another head that you just pop on and off on a ball joint. But when I look at it, it kind of looks like it actually pops on the front somehow. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out and how this gimmick works. So here you can see on the side, the artwork kind of wraps around, which looks pretty neat. Not too much going on the top or bottom. Not really much going on the side over here either, but you have that kind of standard mural picture here on the back that's on the back of every one of these boxes. So pretty standard packaging, but let's go ahead, let's get Zartan out of the box, and then we'll take a closer look. So here he is out of the packaging. I think he looks great. They did a really nice job with him. Detailing, all really nice and sharp. Great paint applications. Although I'll be honest, most of it is just different colored plastic. But his face is painted nicely. This is just a soft hood. You can take that off pretty easily. And then I will zoom in here so we can get a better look at his face. I think he did a good job with the eyes, and I guess those are face tattoos that he has technically. But he looks pretty good. He's also got this kind of softer plastic bandana piece around his neck that if you want to take that off as well, you can. Very simple to take on and off, so no problems there. Head is on a ball joint and a hinge, so you have a ton of movement there. Plus you even have some movement at the base of the neck. So you have all that movement at the base of the skull, but then you also have movement at the base of the neck. He's got normal hinge and swivel in the shoulders. He's got bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He's got nice rotation and hinge at the wrist. He's got ab crunch. And I just knocked his backpack off. That's fine. We'll get back to that in a little bit later. Ball joint at the base of the belly, right at the waist. You have that movement there in addition to the ab crunch. You have a nice ball joint here in the hip. You have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. You have a boot swivel. And then you have the ankle hinge and rock. So really nice articulation. Really, really works well. Looks great. Really cool figure here. And you can pop that hood back on. And I'll be honest, when I was a kid, the cartoon, I thought that was his hair. I guess it was always supposed to be a hood. I have to go back and look at it and see if I can like look at it as a hood now instead of his hair. But when I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I always thought it was just his hair. He's got this belt around his waist so you can store the knife, which I think is really cool. I like when they have weapon storage. And you just pop that out. And it fits very snugly, so it's definitely not going to fall out anytime soon. And that just stores right in there. And then also on that same belt, you have these two peg holes for these. I'm not even quite sure what these are supposed to be. I think this is like a little monkey hand, and then this is like a snake head. I'm not sure why he has them. I guess they're little trophies or something. But they just peg in very easily, so if you want to leave them off, you can. You don't have to have them on there. They just peg right in. Very simple. They're okay, I guess. He also comes with this little handgun, which I think looks pretty good. He holds it very well. You can get the finger into the trigger finger into the trigger there, the gun, which works really well. So all in all, it's a really cool figure. I think it looks great. It's got a lot of nice detailing. It doesn't have a ton of paint applications. It's mostly just the face. I mean, it's mostly just different colored plastic, but it still looks great. It's a really good looking figure. But let's go ahead, let's show off the face gimmick here. So earlier I knocked this backpack off, and you can see it just pegs into his back on this one long peg here. And it usually stays pretty secure when you peg it in. But open this up, and there is the face inside. And you can see there's actually some detailing and some paint applications on the inside, which is pretty cool. So we take the head out, and you can close this up, and it just pegs in. It's very simple. It's just a couple of pegs and peg holes. So that works. And then you can come back around to the back, and you can see the peg hole in his back. So you just go ahead, peg that on, and it's pretty secure. So how this works, let me angle the camera up here. You take the hood off, and you can see the head's a little small, but this piece here is just going to kind of push onto the front and just kind of stays there for friction. And then if you want to put the hood back on, you can. So it's kind of neat. I mean, it makes sense to have the dead eyes when it's just a mask, but then when you put it on, it's just Zartan in his normal costume, but with a different face. So, like, I understand, that his whole thing is he's the master of disguise, and I like that they included that gimmick because I do think it's cool. But I mean, he'd obviously have to change his clothes as well, so it doesn't really 100% paint the picture, but I think it's still neat. And then you can kind of play with the hood a little bit. But it's a great figure. I mean, they really did a nice job. I don't really have too much to complain about. I think the head fits perfectly in the little container. I think it works well. I love the storage for the knife. I think the gun looks good. I mean, I would have loved maybe just a spot for his gun on the hip or something, but that's like a minor nitpick. I mean, that's just wishful thinking, honestly. I don't really have too much to complain about with this guy. He looks great. They've really been doing a great job with all of the G.I. Joe classified figures. I'm really glad I originally I wasn't going to get into the line, but they've really been crushing it. They've been doing a really great job. And it's also kind of nice that they don't like flood the market. I mean, you kind of get like 2 new ones every couple of months, so it's not destroying the wallet with the frequency of release, which is kind of nice. And everything that's been coming out so far has been really good. The last one I looked at, the Cobra Infantry, fantastic, absolutely fantastic figure. Zartan's been great, and I think we have Flint and Lady J coming soon. They look great, so I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a really fun line, and I'm excited to see it continue on. But if you can find Zartan for a good price, I don't. The release of these is always kind of weird. I think a lot of people were finding them on Amazon, so you could definitely check there. I pre-ordered it a long time ago on Hasbro Pulse, and it finally came in, so I was excited for that. I think some people have also been finding them at GameStop, so definitely check GameStops either online or in person if you're looking for these. But they're great figures, and if you can get them for normal retail, I definitely recommend picking them up. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.